Welcome to another edition of the Artist Bloc podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Schuler, and today we have a two-time Bloc Award nominated hip-hop artist and business owner, Rashaun Scope Kid Wilson.
I see.
Yeah.
How y'all doing today?
Good. Thank you. That was about 4. Thank you for working with me.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I really appreciate you coming on the show,
It's
Scope. I think you're dope. And I think about when we first met, because the first time I saw you performing with you, what's your partner's name? Spades. And we had a little confrontation because I don't know what happened, but somehow I had to cut y'all's music off. And y'all ain't like that.
Yeah.
Y'all did not like that. And you told me when the show was over, and I feel like it had happened to you at Green Street.
Yeah.
Right before that happened.
It happened. No, it happened. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Green Street.
Yeah.
But no, what happened in Green Street happened afterwards because we was already booked for y'all feature.
Okay.
After that. So it had happened somewhere. But
No. This was before the feature. This is before we really knew who you were. This was like when I first met you.
I think it happened because Green Street happened afterwards.
Yeah.
We was about to announce our feature here, album release. So when it happened at Green Street, it was afterwards because that was the first time at Green Street.
Oh, okay.
But it happened somewhere else. And I was like, God,
yeah.
Like we made sure we talked to everybody and told them what we was gonna do. And yeah, it happens like that sometimes.
It's all good. But from that conversation, we became family essentially.
Yeah,
and after that, every time y'all came, it was love. It was extra love.
Yeah, always love here.
Yes.
Except for that one time. It was love then, just having the pleasure to perform and that was at Blitz.
Yeah,
Blitz,
it was at
Blitz.
Thinking Out Loud open mic. Yeah. And we developed a relationship over the years, and you ended up doing our jerseys for us for the very first Bloc Awards.
Jerseys. How did they come along?
They were great.
Yeah, that's what
they were dope. Yes, they were dope. Everybody wanted them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I envision one day we're going to have like a line that's going to be exclusive, that they can get that jersey. But of course, they got to come through you to get them because you're going to be making them for us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But I envision that in the future. So just get ready for that.
Oh, I'm ready. I am ready.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will be extra ready at the beginning of this month.
Okay. What's happening? Well, no, let's save that for when we get to the business.
Talk about that
Okay. Yeah. Well, talk to us about a young Scope. How did you grow to be the artist that you are today? What was the beginning like?
My grandmother. The start of everything artistic came from my grandmother. She was an artist. She sold. She was a worker. My grandfather, he was a worker. And my parents, they were workers. So, of course, they instilled that into me. And that's where it basically started. As far as wanting to have a business, that's what you're asking. Wanting to have a business started, it basically came about on accident. I didn't think I was going to have a business. I didn't think I could, organize a business until I was probably 22. And that's when I redid my trunk and my Cadillac. And I was like, you know what? I might could do this for real.
Yeah.
And then I had a bike rack, and I actually customized the seats on my bike. And when I had the bike rack, that's when the vision really threw in because I really didn't know my future. And I was like, I can't window lay my talents working at a place, and I had just started working there approximately about 3 months. So
where were you working?
Goodyear.
Okay.
And I announced all that.
Yeah.
So a tire plant in Danville. So, I was just like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I just fell in love with customizing seats, and the jersey thing came from my idea. I always wanted to do jerseys. In high school, I was in clothing design, and I had seen a video on Sean John, and he was just talking about his passion for clothes. And I was just like, man, I want to make jerseys. So I made my first thing I made in clothing design was a jersey. So right before y'all had acquired about it, I was reliving that. And then when y'all acquired about it, I was like, yeah, I think I need to be making these jerseys. So Yeah, that's where the clothing part came in, and I would put the course SV on the t-shirts and stuff out of Gator, and I just started that way.
Yeah. It's such a unique skill set for you to want to do upholstery of like seats and different things, and as well as clothing. Like, how did you even know how to like sew? You have to sew to do that.
Yeah, I first watched my grandmother sew. She would like customize her couch. Like we'll come in and it'd be random times the couch be a different color. Like she just went and just got some fabric, customized the couch, and just watching her do stuff like that and make clothes. She was make clothes from scratch for my mom them, back in the day. So actually my niece's mom, she was making a dress for her. And I just watched and I was just intrigued by it. And I ended up taking clothing design because my brother was in clothing design. So everything my brother did, I kind of did too. So he was telling me about the clothing design. So I got into clothing design, fell in love with it. And that's pretty much how I started sewing. And of course my wreck happened. Boom.
What was the wreck?
I was in a bike wreck. Car pulled out in front of me on my way to work. And I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And when I got out the hospital, I couldn't walk. So this chair I was sitting in for 3 months, I was just like, I got tired of looking at it. So in the time of me healing, recouping, or whatnot, I customized the seat that I was in. And ended up posting it on Facebook. Just, just posting it because I started having that business mindset. And once I posted it, it blew. Like people started like, oh, you do seats? And then my cousin, she hit me up and I customized her husband's Chevrolet seat. And I posted that and the rest was all she wrote.
Wow. Was that the first like paid gig you had? Was your cousin?
My first paid seat gig was the Chevrolet seat. And I did a headline. I did a headliner. The reason I'm laughing because I didn't know nothing about no headliner.
And I don't. What is a headliner? Because I don't know.
The top of your car. And sometimes it be sagging.
I got you.
One of these cats that I've been known for years. He's actually my cousin's cousin. He was like, "Man, my headline look bad. Can you do it?" I said, "Yeah, I can do it." You need to say I didn't like it. But he loved it. So that was my first time doing a headliner, and he actually paid me. I only charged him I'm not going to say the ridiculous number I charged him because it was low. It was really low, but you got to charge low if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So I didn't know what I was doing. He loved it. I got paid, and that was my first time getting paid. And then doing a seat, was the Chevrolet seat.
Wow. When was the first time you got paid for doing clothing?
My first time doing clothing, it was actually T-Lac.
Who's T-Lac?
Tom Lattimore.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
He bought a shirt from me. Yeah, he seen me with the custom Scoville shirt. I need one. I said, okay. Yeah, $20. Go ahead and give it to me. So the first order I had was y'all. The first multiple, submission was you all. So, yeah, that was dope. It's first jersey sales. So that right there made me think about wholesaling and everything. And then as far as the jewelry, of course I was doing seats and this lady Jocelyn Allen, she's out of Danville, Virginia. She asked me to come in. I was like, all I got is seats. So this is actually one of the original pieces from that first order that I did. So I started taking the extra fabric that I had laying around and started making jewelry out of it.
Nice.
And it blew after that on the jewelry. So
nice.
Yeah. God be putting me in situations, man.
Yeah, won't he do it?
I had to swallow on that one, man. I was refreshing. Man. So that's the beauty of becoming entrepreneurship. Like you never know what your next move is gonna be until you make it.
Right. That's making me think I should have worn my jersey tonight. I didn't even put two and two together because it's so special for me that I preserve it. You can wear it on special occasions.
Yeah,
you know
I appreciate you all. Y'all look fabulous in the things too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very man. The Bloc Awards, that was probably the highlight of our whole career.
Yeah.
Like going and getting ready and almost being late.
Yeah.
Like the whole thrill. Like I was just like, yo, we got nominated for a Bloc Award. Like that was beautiful. And then the whole, like, I didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there, just seeing all my beautiful Black people dressed up and I was just like, yo, we at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Like the people outside, and it was just beautiful. It was a very beautiful experience, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next one.
Me too.
Next one. Man.
Yeah. That's actually my favorite event that we have here at the Artist Bloc is the Bloc Awards.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Because that's the plan. Well, it was Darlene's vision, but it was to bring Hollywood to us. So it would be our own Grammys, our own Oscars.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was nice. I'm getting chill bust thinking about it, man. You can actually see him, God.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It was a beautiful night.
Yeah.
Beautiful night.
Yeah. So out of the three components, because you have your seat component or car, we'll say that, your car component, your clothing component, and your jewelry component, which one are you able to push the fastest? Seats.
Yeah, because I've been doing this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
The respect is there. Like, I don't even have to sell it no more. Like the thing about it, as soon as if I do post something, I don't have to post like for a very long time unless I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But haven't posted a seat in so long. Right now I'm just posting my art, paintings and stuff like that. Seats move. Like it's out there, man. And
do you go to like car shows and stuff like that?
I am now.
Okay.
Before the next announcement, I'm be able to hit them. But before one of my homies died, I used to go all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And since he passed away, I haven't really been.
Mm-hmm.
I went to one car show after that and just didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
So I hadn't been. And this year I plan on doing a whole lot of stuff. I go to bike rally.
Okay.
Bike rally, it used to be like something that I used to do for fun, go out, and ride. But now I take my sewing machine, I take some fabric, and I make money.
You're making it on the spot there?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
In my room. I got the table on the bed.
Yeah.
I got my sewing machine in the corner. I got the air compressor outside. Yeah.
How long does it take you to do that?
Usually it takes about 2 or 3 hours a seat. There. I don't know, something about when I get there, I'm in a different mindset. I don't. And then on top of that, I know they waiting to ride. So I don't sit there and lounge. I just go and I get it. Like it's like a NASCAR.
Yeah.
Like you in the NASCAR pit and you just it's real nice. I actually got a video on YouTube.
Nice.
It's called Drop Top Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just showing the inside of me doing the seats. Taking videos, and I also do photography and videography as well. That's actually, man, I'm blessed on that one too, as far as business wise. But I just video everybody, and I usually run into everybody that I've done seats from at home. So what I did was combine the video and took the pictures and video of a couple of the people's seats that I've seen while I was at the beach, and the people that I did the seats for at the beach. So I really like it. I enjoy the bike rally.
Yeah. We're gonna get into you because you're multifaceted as an artist. We're gonna get into your other artistic components. But you said with the very first thing you ever did, you charged low. So how are you able to price yourself now? Like, what is your method for doing that?
My method is the seat. I individualize everything. So that's when it's called Scope Vision Custom. So every seat is a custom. And how I have a base price, and then I just ask questions. What do you want? And They tell me what they want, I tell them the price. And if they don't want to pay that, then I say, okay, this is what we can do to accommodate your budget. And it ends up being a win-win for everybody because they're paying what they want to pay and they're getting a quality product. And sometimes, you know, if somebody says, I want to do this and do this, like you got some people that have fairy tales on their seat. And with fairy tales, it creates another fairy tale to create it.
Yeah.
So they be like, oh, no. But I can get you this to look something like this, but you can't have the artwork, the patent, and all this and pay this for it.
Right.
So yeah.
That's how it's layers. Yeah. Levels. That's what I was thinking. I heard the Meat Mill song earlier today.
Yeah. And this thing about it, you know, when somebody gets a price, you know, they say, I got it for this price. And they say, well, you paid paid this price. And I say, well, this is what they got. And I have a breakdown of what they got versus what they want. And they can see like it's fair. Yeah. Like that's another thing too. I had a guy come in, it was an older guy, and he was just impressed on the level of what he was able to get for his dollar. And he was just like, oh man, I really thought it was gonna be like $500, $600. Like, I mean, we can make it $500, $600 if you want to, but you know, it ended up, you know, being reasonable for him. He was happy, and he ended up, you know, went on ahead and paid what he had to pay right then and there. And I'm happy because, you know, I ain't gotta worry about, you know, the money aspect, and he's gonna be happy when it's done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Nice. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business. I started the business in 2012. Yeah, that's when I was official tissue, as they would say. Went and got the business license, and I guess it's a DBA, and started doing it out of my house. And I had it in my back room. The seat that I did for the Chevrolet seat, actually did it on my bed. And I was just like, you know what, I can't have this on my bed. You know, all this fabric laying everywhere. So I ended up cleaning up my back room and doing it out my back room. And then my dad came over and he saw like the mess and everything. He's like, come on to the shop. So I started doing it at the bottom of my pop shop for many a years until 2017. I purchased a building downtown and been there ever since. Nice.
What was the process like for you starting, like with the paperwork and stuff like that? Did you do it yourself, or did you get somebody else to do it for you?
I did it myself. I talked to an old head, and he's actually my neighbor. Shout out to Chuck. And he was just like, all you gotta do is just go to the sheriff's office, the clerks, the courts clerks or whatever. I can't remember
the county clerk.
County clerk office, and say I would like to start a business. And that's what I did. I said I would like to start a business. And she handed me the paperwork. I got the EIN number, and just started doing that, and that's how I started. I actually went to the city trying to open my business at my pop shop, and we lived in a time where they would try to do anything to not let us succeed. So they said, now my pop shop is automotive zone. It's zone for automotive repair. And I said I'll be doing upholstery. This lady had I'm talking about the quickness. We can't do upholstery at this place. I said, what you mean? I looked at the zone. I seen auto repair. I mean, it was zoned for like a grocery store. It was zoned for so many things. I said, why can't I have upholstery here? You can't. No explanation. No what's called. So I was just like, bad. So I already had my DBA through the county. So I really didn't have to. I just wanted to go extra legit so I can promote and do everything in that building. So I went back like a few months later, same name, same everything, but I put auto repair. And I got the zone for that, permit for that. And that's pretty much it. Then when I got my building downtown, it's zoned for everything. So we got a category as a retail store, and it pretty much does everything. So I don't have to worry about nothing. I can paint, cut hair, all that, like everything. So yeah.
What made you want to do it for yourself as a business as opposed to like finding somebody else and working for them?
There's a lot of reasons. I like my own time. Being in a corporation now, I have to ask to be off. I have to constantly worry about being on time, and I can't really move like I want to move. And just for example, my niece, I asked if we could hang, like it was a few months ago, and to be able to tell her, yeah, I just called in because I was already had an idea of me, leaving. So I was just like, yeah, I ain't coming in until, we get done doing what we doing. So she ended up falling asleep during the movie. And I was like, yeah, it's time to go to work. Ended up going to work. And, that right there was the freedom that I really love about. And then on top of that, not having a cap on my dollar. Like when you go to work, you have a cap. You go in there, you make this amount of money an hour. You're going to work this amount of hours. And you're only going to get paid this amount of money. With business, it's contingent on how much I want to use my hands. I can sit there from 12 to 12 and I can make $1,000 maybe. I can sit there from 4 to 6 and make $1,000. You get what I'm saying? So it's I could be at Bike Week, make $1,000. So, it's all about just freedom. I love the freedoms. I love being able to please my customers, seeing their faces and, seeing the seats that they come in and being able to beautify them and seeing the excitement on their face. Like today, I had this guy's seat for 3 years, 3 years. And he came and got it today. Shout out to Frank Lowe for that. And it was a Joker seat. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's a Joker seat. And he hadn't rode his bike in 5 years.
Wow.
And to see his face when he saw the seat, he was like, yo, my butt's not going to hurt. That's what he said. But he said, my butt's not going to hurt no more. Because I had padded it up and his bike is strutted so he could feel every bump. So it's got the gel pads, got the foam, it's got the Joker on his bike is Joker. So just seeing his face was priceless. Priceless.
Yeah. That's dope. I was gonna say too, you must be extremely disciplined. I mean, you have to be disciplined to be a business owner anyway, but you must be extremely disciplined.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. That's why I took the 2 weeks off before I resigned from my job. I took 2 weeks off just to see how disciplined I am. And it's a lot of distractions, especially with social media, and just trying to be family, and discipline is very key. And she'll say, my wife will tell you, I'll be at the shop all night. 5 o'clock I'll be coming in just because I want to achieve what my goals are. And that's the thing about it. Once I set my goal on something, I want to achieve it. And that's my, I guess, discipline. Sometimes it takes me a while to get started. The motivation, it's hard sometimes when you got so much stuff that you got to do. It's like, but once you get into it, it's like a rhythm you get into, and it's a good feeling. It reminds me of when I used to play basketball. You got to practice every day. You got to go to practice every day. If you don't go to practice every day, you're gonna slack. You're gonna lose your abilities. You're gonna be slowful. You're not gonna be able to produce like you want to. So you got to treat it just like it's a layup line. You got to go into it, continue to do it, and then you gain a rhythm. And that's the biggest thing, is gaining that rhythm. And I took a week off 2 weeks ago. Went back to work for a day. It threw my whole rhythm off. And that's when I knew I can't go back to this job. Which I gotta go back for 4 more days before I retire. From that particular job. But you on the right path though. Like that's what all entrepreneurs strive to be on. Because I think too, a lot of times people get it confused with entrepreneur. Well, not confused, but they have this fantasy of entrepreneurship. And they think, oh, I'm just gonna quit my job. I'm just gonna go and be an entrepreneur. It's like, no, it's a process. It's a step-by-step process because you still got to pay them bills every month. So sometimes you do have to have a job to keep them bills paid. You know what I mean? Until you can make that transition over. And that's another thing I learned, just like when I spoke with y'all. That's one thing you got to do is talk to people who have done the business. And I treat y'all to lunch and everything.
I remember with the Reggae Cafe.
And just, learn from people who've already doing it. And y'all helped me so much by that conversation and confidence, and seeing you all operate this business is beautiful. And just taking this knowledge and not being afraid to ask questions. That's the biggest thing. Even though some people might not want to help you, but you still ask those questions, like, what took you to be at this place? And I understand like the work that people put in that they don't want to give out. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, you got to continue to want to get that information. And that's the biggest thing is knowledge. You got to read, and you got to be very observative. That's the biggest thing in doing a business. You got to see people that are successful and learn from them. And if anybody, like, I'm not stingy with no information now, y'all. So if y'all would like to know some information, let me know, and I would put you on the right path.
Yeah. It made me think too, because you do post a lot. What's your strategy with that? I know you post them as a form of marketing. You know what I'm saying? So what's your strategy with that? My
strategy with that is to catch the algorithm. And the algorithm, just look at your stats. When you, like, I'm gonna go back to basketball. When you want to become better, you look at your stats. You look at the game film. So if they tell me, okay, it's better to post at this time, that's what you do. You post at that time. And when your audience is at your peak, that's what you do. So I'm strategic. I like to post when it's the most viewable, and that's around 6 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy because I didn't think about this. People are getting up to go to work. And the window is from 6 to 9. If I post anything after 9 o'clock, it does trash. It does horrible. And it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, those two times, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, are the best times to post for me.
Right.
According to the stats.
Right.
And you know, I try to be very respectable when I post, even though I do videos that might pertain family. I let everybody know, like, hey, this got cussing in it, this got, and then being very transparent when in your post. Like, I'm trying to sell this. I need for y'all to know that I'm doing this tomorrow, or I'm doing this Tuesday. And don't post prices. That's one thing I learned too.
Why you say that?
Because people will know what to expect, and then on top of that, they'll try to underline you. Like, everybody wants a deal. So if they already expect that, okay, this is the price right here, I'm gonna try to get it for $10. Versus, you know, and what I do, I can't post a price because people expect something that they want, like we talked about before, something high dollar for something low. So, you know, when I was posting prices, I didn't get a whole lot of action, if that made sense. Like, I used to post custom seats, $150, and it just would not hit. So I would just post the product and then let them come in. And another thing that I'm gonna do once I retire is I'm gonna do advertisement. I'm gonna pay for the sponsorships. I'm gonna pay for different things to make it more viewable. And that's the one thing about money rules the world. So if you put your money into something, it's gonna make it back. It's gonna make it back. And that's one thing I've been learning. I've been watching Prince. I can't remember his real name. Donnell, I think it might be.
Yeah, Prince.
He is phenomenal. Like, as far as knowledge. And I've been just following him and just gaining different things, you know, just on the marketing part. And what he's doing is ingenious. And been just learning from different creators and stuff as well. So.
That's deep about the price thing. I'm gonna have to keep my eye out for that. We don't post prices anyway, but I remember before, when I was trying to get my videography thing going, like in the very beginning, I created a flyer, and the flyer had prices on it. But it didn't get nothing. But now, I mean, I don't even have a flyer, but people will call me. But I know I've been working over the years, been my rep up. But I never thought about that. If people see a price, they're gonna want whatever for that particular price, or they're gonna be like, okay, this is the price. I can haggle him a bit to bring it down to where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing about business. Like, you got people like myself, I'm a bargainer. Like I'm a bargain shop, and that's the thing about as far as recognizing that. I see that, okay, I see, but that I recognize that and I don't do it no more. Like if you tell me a price, I say, okay. And that's another thing too. If you are a customer and you're not happy with the price, let them know you're not happy with the price. Say, I can't afford this. Right. I can't do, because that's when the sincereness comes out. That's when the okay, well, I can work with you. But if you just say, oh, I'm gonna come back to you, and you don't come back, that's where you lose their respect. And then when you come back, they're gonna charge you a different price just because you didn't be honest with them. Right. So that's one thing I learned too, is like I just it was a tray that I wanted, and dude put a price up there, $25. So I'm thinking I'm about to get a tray for $25. So I told him, like, yeah, I want these 3 colors, you know, Rastafarian colors, you know, and the price went up. So, you know, I was like, oh, shipping is included? No, this is for shipping. I was like, so it didn't double, and that's why I didn't get it, because you wasn't upfront with it, and you put a price on that thing. Right. So if you hadn't put a price, you had been like, what you want. Then you would have told me what I want. I might would have been more comfortable. But I already had I had a mindset. Okay, I'm gonna get this thing for $25. I can do that. Yeah. Nah. And I look at other people's like observing too. If they put their price on, I look at how many people like comment, hit, and everything too. And I just started observing that when people put their prices on there, it don't really do good. So that's why I learned. I was like, I'm not putting prices on nothing, because at the end of the day, you might charge this for fall. Okay, you charge it for fall. It's business is about supply and demand. Okay, if the supply and demand is not meeting, then you drop your price. If you're meeting the demand, then you raise your price. That's how you do business. So, and that's another thing I learned when I was in high school, was how to run a business and how to operate economically. I learned that like early in the game. So that was it. Yeah.
That was key. You said something else, but I'm gonna hold that for a second. But I did have another question. So what social media platforms are you on, and which ones work best for you and what you're doing?
Art wise, Instagram. Like Instagram is like that genie that you just rub it and it does what you want it to do. You know, Instagram as far as art wise. I have more of an older crowd on Facebook. So Facebook works better when I'm doing seats and promoting seats and stuff like that, photography. Like that does real good on Facebook. But when I'm doing music, paintings and everything, events, I usually go to Instagram.
Nice. Instagram. Do you like whatever you post on there, do you let that go to Facebook, or do you just keep them separate and keep your approach separate?
See, my page is set up different. Like my main page, nothing goes from Instagram, but my Scope Vision page, everything that I post on my Scope Vision page goes to my Scope Vision page on Facebook. Everything I post on my Scope Vision Customs page goes to my Scope Vision page. Scope Vision Customs page on Facebook. So I guess it kind of goes hand in hand on that aspect, but I don't like sharing what I share on Facebook at the same time as I do on Instagram. Okay. And just because I want people to have a diverse, I want people that follow me on Instagram to have exclusive Instagram. And then I want people that follow me on Facebook to have exclusive on Facebook. So when I say, hey, like right now I'm doing a Venom painting. I said, if y'all want to see anything else from this painting, go to my Instagram. Yeah. So I'm not going to post anything about the Venom painting maybe till months later. Yeah. You know, and that's why it gives a more exclusive. And YouTube, I post stuff on YouTube that I don't want everybody on my Facebook to see. Like the explicit stuff, you know. I just basically I'm very much more genuine on Instagram, because I feel like is more of people my speed. And I ain't gonna worry about my mama saying, don't comment, don't say this, don't say that.
Yeah.
And I ain't gotta worry about the pastor, you know.
Cause they do be on Facebook though.
Yeah. So and when I go on trips and stuff, I usually post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Versus my Facebook. And I might post it months later.
Yeah. That makes me think about do you watch TV now, like cable?
I don't.
No. I watch TV, but you don't know, but my undergrad degree was in broadcast production. So I like broadcast television, you know what I'm saying? But I recently realized that BET, they have the BET Plus, which is their streaming platform. Okay. They had all these shows on BET Plus that look really cool. And now I feel like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I realized that they have this new campaign now called BET Plus on BET, where all the content that was on BET Plus, they're now playing on BET. But what you said, it makes me think that that's why they didn't put that stuff on BET originally. They only had it on the streaming platform because it was making it like exclusive and to draw that crowd to the streaming platform, even though it probably had to be over a year that they did that. Now it's finally on BET, But that was a strategy. And I thought about that when I was watching it, like, that was so smart because they got a bunch of people to sign up for BET Plus and pay that fee every month, only for them to just turn around and give the product basically away for free on BET without having to pay that extra price, So that makes a lot of sense. And I like the concept of exclusivity on each particular platform, because I do it depends on my day, what I'm doing personally. But most of the time I do connect the two, but you're right. That does make sense because Facebook is an older crowd. And all my family is there. My mom is there, and stuff like that. So versus Instagram, it is more my speed. Because I think Instagram is more popular amongst people who are in their 20s to 30s versus Facebook, which I feel like is like 40s and up.
Yeah, I looked at my demographic on Instagram. Is from 18 to around 30. And on my Facebook is from 25 to 45. Yeah. Like the majority. And on my Instagram, my demographic between sex is 49% women, 51% men. So it's like I try to keep that, demographic even on my Instagram, just because I'm trying to appeal to, more than just one specific sex. Right. And the content I put out there is, I want, to be more transparent. I want everybody to feel like what I'm putting out is for them. Yeah. And that's what I basically do on my Instagram. Now, I don't know the demographic of sex on my Facebook because I hadn't looked at that in such a long time. So, I try to appeal to everybody, and I try to keep it even. Yeah. But I guess you can't help who follows you, but that's just how it always is.
Yeah,
like,
that's a real thing.
Either 50-50 or 49-51.
Yeah, we have a larger female following. Okay. But it would make sense that we have a large female following because we're women, and then you're a man, so that makes sense for you as well. But it's like right in that range where, I don't know exactly, but it's like 50-something, 40-something. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that. But I had a question though. What you got? So what was one of the biggest lessons you have learned in business? And I want this to be a lesson based off of a mistake that you've made. The
biggest lesson that I had, if you are doing a business transaction, get it in writing.
That's a word right there.
And I learned that when I was coaching. Like I said, in the same family that denied me for the business was in the same family. They was married that cheated me on my check.
Wow.
Like took a whole check from me.
Wow.
Like I struggled that whole season being a head coach. And dude, I'm gonna give you your check. You the head coach. But they didn't want to do the paperwork. So he said he's gonna give me the check from after taxes or whatever. Never did give me my check. So that was the biggest lesson. The second biggest lesson we talked about before, getting people's full name. Because I actually had a bad business transaction with my paint job. Dude did a crap. I would say the other word, but I know we on the podcast. So he effed me pretty good. Yeah. And it was horrible. So I took him to court, but I didn't have his real name. I had half of his name, and his Facebook name wasn't his real name. So that's what I went by. And that's why I knew now, like, if I'm spending some bread with somebody, get their full name, get a contract. That's the biggest thing that I've learned. Far as, and I look at those losses as like if I was to go to a university. You know, I took a loss, but I paid for that loss. So I'm not making that loss again. So that's the biggest thing. If I'm doing like big business with somebody, know their full name and get everything in writing.
You went to school of the hard knocks.
Oh man, it's hard knock there, but hard knock. Yes. And then another thing, if you got a vision, hold it to you. You know, don't. I mean, it's hard not to tell everybody what you got going on, but until you get it established, hold it, because you got people that are not looking for your benefit. Like they'll start talking, such and such is going to do this and you know, they speak negativity to your situation. So once you get a vision, write it down. That's your biggest thing. Write it down, make it plain. And that's what we do as a family. We write our visions down. Like, tell it to the maker, so the universe will wrap around your dream, your vision, and then everything else will come into place. Like everything, man, everything that I set out to do, man, it didn't happen. Just like buying a building. My pops was like, you gotta, you know, move out, you know what I mean? So it won't, I don't know, ill love or nothing. He was just knowing that I was expanding. Like, and everything about the business, if I had told somebody who's looking at this building, they might well went and looked at it, you know what I mean? So I just kept it to myself till I was able to establish the building, got the building, and boom, it worked itself out. So that's another thing. Keep your things to yourself until you establish it, and until you 100% ready to do it.
Gotcha. Yes. Speaking of the building, talk to us about that. We talked about the upholstery and all that. So talk to us about the building. The
building is called the TVOC Center. It's the Vision of Opportunity and Culture Center, and for the arts. And it pretty much embodies everything that me and my wife are doing: art, upholstery, photography, music, and now barbering. I'm actually going to school for be a barber. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah, and so all of that in one entity is the vision. And we're going to be teaching opportunity and culture. Like that's the biggest thing, is bringing awareness that we can achieve something. I had a young lady come. She came to with her boyfriend to a studio session, and when I unlocked the door, it was like she was like, "This is your spot?" And I was like, "Yeah." So once I opened the door, she saw all the art, and she was like, "I never known a Black person to have something like this." I was like, "Well, come on in." Like, let me show you. And that right there really pushed me to like that. Just her saying that was like, wow, like that was, and then seeing y'all, like, man, seeing y'all when I came up in here, cause like 3 Black beautiful women controlling this whole space. It's beautiful. It is beautiful, man. I love it. I love every single bit of the Artist Bloc, man.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I do.
Yeah, okay. So I was gonna say, because you're multi-talented, but you kind of touched on it all, that you know you do all these things. Of course, I met you as a hip hop artist, and then I learned about the upholstery, and then I did know that you brought the building, because we actually came to one of your events that you had the building, but I didn't know about the vision of it being an art center. That's something I just learned today. So
I told you about it if you want.
Yeah, but when I went there, even though you were doing it, I feel like I wasn't thinking in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just thinking you're an artist, so it makes sense that you have art there. But I didn't understand the vision.
Yeah.
But now I see the vision clear, scope vision.
Yeah. And we want to teach, you know, like my niece over there. Like when I told her I was about to go paint, she got excited. She said, "What, really?
Yeah.
Can I come?" And that right there, it brought a little gem to my heart a little bit, you know, because she's an artist as well. Go ahead and say, "Hey, Smile," say, "Smile."
She
ain't gonna say that. But yeah, so yeah, just seeing that, I just want to inspire the same way when I rode the streets when I was a kid, I spoke it. I said, I want to own one of these buildings. And to have it come full surface, man, you couldn't tell me nothing, man.
Yeah.
But you can tell me I ain't cocking now, but I was happy. I was very happy when we closed on the building. It was one of those moments like, dang, I just did this.
Yeah.
And now, and ever since I've been in that building, like the transition from my pop shop to the building has been triple, because at the end of the day, I got my own bills. I got this to take care of, and then I got my own space.
Yeah.
So having my own space, like I knew I had to get in the gear, and that's the discipline you had spoke about before. I was like, I got a light bill, I got insurance, I got all these, I got a cover for this month, and if I'm not making no money, it's not gonna get covered.
Right.
So in taxes, man, I hate taxes. But
that's a real thing though. Yes, taxes is a real thing. Yes.
It's a real thing. Don't be Wesley Snipes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
You pay sales and use tax?
I do. I do.
The sales and use tax can get you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, when you sell a product or a service, you have to pay taxes on that. You pay taxes to the county, you pay taxes to the state every month. Every month.
Yes. I pay quarterly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do quarterly.
Okay. We do it. We do monthly.
Okay.
But them things are real though. And the little bit of change you think you had left over, like, they want their money. The government's coming for that money.
Yes, they is.
Yes.
They is. And that's the thing about it, too, I wasn't making enough at that time to file. So, a certain amount of money you gotta make before you can really before they really get on your radar.
Right.
So this year I'm surpassed, thank God, surpassed what I made last year and the year before that. So they on the 31st, they're gonna get their check. They're gonna get their check.
Okay, we reached the portion of the show we're gonna talk about your 5 steps. I call it the Playbook. I haven't officially branded it as that yet, but that's what I'm leaning towards, the Playbook. But at this portion, you tell people if they want to get into upholstery, what's 5 steps they need to take in order to get into that game?
5 steps. First, write it down. Write down your business plan. Write down what you want to sell. Write down if you are specifically upholstery.
No, but just go ahead.
Okay, write down your vision. Write down the game plan. Because without those 2 things, you are going to be everywhere. So first thing to do, write it down. Second thing, if you're going to do it by yourself, make sure you build that by yourself. But if you need a team, build a team. Find out some people that are going to achieve and have the same discipline that you have. That's 2. And 3, pray. Like that should be number 1. Like for real, like that should be number 1. But pray, ask God for the guidance. Ask God for the roads that you need to take. Okay. So, and that goes along with step 1, because you write it down, make it plain. Amen.
Right. Amen.
So step 4, invest. Invest. You're going, like, for me, I invested in a sewing machine. I know I need a better sewing machine, and I invested in a sewing machine. So invest. And step 5, work.
What?
Yes. Work. Like, it's like being an entrepreneur is not waking up when you want to, even though you can, but you got to work. When you wake up, you got to work.
Right.
Like it ain't no sitting on Facebook for 3 or 4 hours. You got to work.
Right.
Unless you are promoting, that's part of work too.
Yeah.
But if you just scroll and looking at videos like I do sometimes, you gotta work more than you have your own personal time.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So 5 steps to that.
That was a word right there. Nobody's ever said pray in their 5 steps. That was very deep.
Yeah, you gotta seek guidance. Yeah. Man, if you don't, like, I believe in supernatural events happening. Like sometimes my wife, she'll tell me, "Why are you going this place?" I'm going this place, and I might not get no support from that establishment ever, but when I go, I build. Like I network with people, I build with people, and it'll be like the most randomest moments, and it actually turn into something, that leads to something big. So that's the thing about it, just go with your gut. And trust your gut and trust that feeling that God is going to provide for you regardless of the fact. And it might look bad sometimes. Like it might, like my downest time was my wreck. Like I never thought what came out my wreck would be my lifestyle. So, you know, I stopped drinking then, you know, I ain't stopped completely, but I stopped drinking on the regular after my wreck. And it wasn't because I was drunk while I was driving and it was just because I had a revelation of, yo, Sean, you doing this every weekend. You need to dedicate your time to this. You need to dedicate your money to this. So, you know, that right there changed my life in so many different ways. And God had to set me down for that because my mindset then was on a very arrogant, I couldn't be stopped type mentality. And I thank God for saying, you know, Sean, get back on track. You know, so he set me down and it really got me to really understand who was in my corner. And at that time, I was the only one that was really in my corner because, you know, I would sit there and see my family ride down the street. My brother, he was in the next room, never asked me for help. You know what I mean? I couldn't walk. Like, you know, so, you know, I mean, I'm not taking nothing from him, but that's just how he is.
Right.
Like, I understand how he stays to himself. So when I understood that, that's what gave me a different mentality to understand that I only got God. Like he the one who helping me take this shower with one arm. Like, you know, it was a very humbling moment. So, you know, I pray, like I meditate, I give God his time and just pretty much, you know, do what you are set here to do. Live purpose living.
I agree with all that.
On purpose.
I love that. Live your purpose on purpose. I love that. Won't God sit you down and have a conversation with you real quick?
He was like, okay, man. Y'all, you got it. And
I also think like a part of the pandemic happening was God speaking to everybody in the world because it was a global pandemic to sit still and listen and think for a second. So by the time you get back up and he starts allowing us to move, which we are moving a little bit now, you can move in a different direction, in a better direction, a better path. You know what I mean?
I think that's too. The pandemic is what put me on the real 100%. Yo, I'm quitting my job. Not having a job for 2 or 3 months, I was able to concentrate on my business 100%. And I seen what would happen when I concentrate on my business during a pandemic. What would happen if I really set my mind to what my purpose is, and me going to. And actually, no, I ain't supposed to be at work today. Nah, so I wouldn't be here right now. If I was, you know, hadn't took the weeks off, but I gotta go to this weekend. Is my weekend of work. So.
I was gonna say bringing it back. So step number 1 was to write it down. I know step 3 was to pray. What was step 2?
Make a plan.
Make a plan. Write it down. Make a plan. Pray. I know 5 was work.
Connect with people.
And 5 was work. Okay, so that was the syllabus for Professor Scope Kid course. Business 101. So before they come to class tomorrow, what's the prerequisite they need to do tonight before they enter into your class tomorrow?
I pray. Write it down, and you know, have your purpose in mind. That's what you need to do if you was to come to my class tomorrow, and make sure you bring your books because I'm gonna have you reading. Like I'm gonna have and bring a notepad.
Bring a notepad.
Yes, bring a notepad.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because you know I teach. No shade. They don't bring no notepad. They don't write no more.
Oh man, you need to write. Like for me, that's the only way I learned was to write. And I was, you know, listening to like. Sometimes I wouldn't write if I was listening hard enough. But for me to stay in tune, I gotta write. So even now when I write my lyrics, I mean I got my phone or whatever, but when I write lyrics, I remember it. If that makes sense. And like when I type it, only way I remember it if I record it.
It's now something about like writing with your hand. Like
And my sketchbook, like I got a notepad. I do every single job that I do now, I'll write it down and draw it out. So, and that adds another, and I sent the dude a quote the other day. He was like, oh my gosh, your quotes are bomb. I was like, niggas every day. Like it made me feel good because after I sent him the quote or whatever, he sent me the money.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, yeah.
Yes. So prerequisite tonight is to essentially pray, get yourself together, get your mind right, get you a notebook and a pencil, and kind of class tomorrow and get ready to get these jewels and get this work. But anyway, we're coming towards the end. This has been fantastic. How do you feel?
Lovely. This has been lovely. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming.
I tell you, this is a great conversation of peace, and I love talking about business. I love talking about wealth, and just building up everybody, and being able to be an inspiration to somebody. That is key. I really enjoy that, and I hope this right here helps people with their journey, and just pay attention. Like when you got a teacher, a professor, pay attention to what they are saying, because when I first wanted to become a homeowner was in 8th grade. It was an economics teacher. She was talking about the pros and cons of paying rent. And I said, so you're going to pay the same amount to pay rent as you would to own a house. I was like, well, not own a house. The worst case scenario is you lose your house. But best case scenario, you pay it off and you own it. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to pay off a house by renting. So, I learned that, and I was like, I'm like, even when I was trying to go to college, where I was going to try to go to college, I wasn't going to pay no dormitory fee. I was going to try to buy a house, get a loan for a house, and rent it out, like have people come to my house and rent it. And that's what I did when I first bought my house. My brother came and he rented, so he pretty much paid my mortgage. But
which is smart,
And like when you say, I'm gonna do something, I'm telling you, the universe will work in your favor. But you gotta say, I'm gonna do it. You can't say I might do it. I'm gonna try to do it. Say I'm going to do this.
Right.
And then you man, I'm trying to tell you, stuff will start moving and aligning so just crazy.
Right. The biggest takeaway from that one was ownership, which I want to get back to really quick, but also manifestation. And speaking things into existence as if they are so. Because that is a very much so real thing. And you're right. You can't say I might or maybe. Like you have to say I will do such and such. You know what I'm saying? I am going to do such and such. I am a owner, a home owner. You have to even speak it of that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking at Ayana Van Zant last year. And she was talking about affirmations and saying, I am something, because you have to embody whatever it may be. And then with the ownership thing, that was really big, because that's how you build wealth. You build wealth through ownership, particularly with real estate. And of course you have stocks and businesses and stuff like that. But even like owning a home, for instance, what you were just talking about, because the credit score is very much so real. Like when you're younger, I feel like you don't quite understand how real credit is, but credit is real. So even if you buy a house and you rent the house out and somebody's paying the mortgage, they're also increasing your credit score because you're paying your bill every month on time. And increasing your credit score is going to be able to give you more credit to get more things, because credit really is what's running the world, more so than cash. Cash is losing value, but like credit and, diamonds and gold and stuff like that, we should get a little deeper. But yes, that's the point I was trying to say. Ownership is key. And even when you own the home, communication is also key with any type of credit. If you can't pay something, call the people up and tell them that you can't pay it, and see if they can work out something with you. Don't just not pay it and let it hit your credit, and then it's up there for 7 years, and you got all types of trouble because you got bad credit in this world today. It's not gonna be sexy for you. So get your credit together. That's a key right there. Get your credit together.
That's major. But I've always been a believer, like when you take a loan out for something, and this is just all my belief, you're supposed to own it to, like you loan to death. Like you're not supposed to take a loan out for something that you're not willing to die for. You know what I'm saying? So you taking a loan out for a couch, you're not gonna die. Like for me, and that's one thing about me that differentiates my credit score from everybody else's. I went without. Like I went through the struggle. You talking about struggle? I went through the struggle. I went through thrifting to, like when it comes to certain things, I will not take a loan out for.
Mm-hmm.
Credit cards. I don't believe in credit cards. I got a credit card because you have to have a credit card.
You do have to have a credit
and,
card.
And when I went to go get my credit card, like, they was like, wow, why didn't you get one sooner?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I didn't need one. Like, why would I get a credit card? Like, your credit is this. And I got a stupid rate. Like, I don't say stupid.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, man, they gave me so much money. I was just like, but that's the thing about it. That's where discipline comes in.
Yeah.
And they give you this amount of money. Like, you have to think about, am I willing to die for this?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not willing to die for it, do not get it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it. And that's the one thing I was talking to my wife about business loans.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a business loan just to have, just in case I get an order for something I don't have the cash in hand for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't make money off of this if I can't get the product.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I'm willing to die for because I need to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But Mercedes-Benz, I can get me a leg. I can get me a Camry, which is the same thing, y'all. Yeah. So it's just all about being savvy on your credit. Just don't get credit for everything.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's how they get you because, and if you're not transparent, if you're not saying, okay, I need till this Friday, they gonna sit there and dock you.
Right.
Every time
they're gonna
you
dock
don't
you.
pay it, they gonna dock you. And that's one thing about it. Don't be prideful. Be transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I was not being able to pay for a bill, I say, hey, Duke Power, like, I ain't really got it right now, but I do plan on having it, this time.
Right.
Okay, we'll work with you, Mr. Wilson. I might not have it that time, so I'll be like, all right, I'll be able to pay this much on it. And if they see you working, they're not going to penalize you.
Right.
So,
yeah. I was going to say, echoing you, just don't abuse your credit. You do need it, but don't abuse it. Just because they gave you a bunch of money on a credit card doesn't mean you're supposed to go spend it. And before you go, I just want to tell you that I'm very proud of you. You a young Black man in America that owns your own business. You own your own home. You own your own building. And you have a plan of action. And you are, working towards achieving it more and more. You know what I mean? So I just want to encourage you and tell you that. And just keep doing what you do, man.
Thank you. I give all credit to God. Like, I can't say I did anything because only thing I did was write the vision.
Yeah. Write the vision and make it plain. Yes. Well, this has been another edition of the Artist Bloc podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Schuler. You can find me on social media at Patricia Schuler, and we'll catch you next time.